What is up, you guys? It is your boy John here from Puma Plow. Welcome back to another Farming Simulator 19 video. This is the much anticipated, at least from my point of view, the baling video. Welcome to it, guys. I hope you guys are ready for this. Buckle up. It's gonna be a long video, but it's gonna be pretty awesome. I think it's pretty cool. So you guys can see, top left is mowing, top right is raking, bottom left is baling, and bottom right is hauling. And you guys will notice they're not all exactly the same speed. The baling, I think, is going to be the fastest video because it was the longest video, so I had to speed it up the most, and then the other ones I sped up as much or as little as I had to match up with the baling video. So like the hauling video, you're going to notice is going to run almost not quite real time, but pretty close to real time. And you can see I'm doing some other stuff in that video too. Oh, I had a problem. I should have cut that out, but I left it in. Anyway, the trailer I'm using likes to sink in the ground when you restart the game, so I had to find a wheel loader and a leveler to lift her up a little bit. I should have used forks, but leveler works just as well. Anyway, so comments from the last couple of videos, guys. Sorry about not getting to them in the last video. I totally butchered that, and there's that. But I understand. Trust me, I kind of get the whole like people asking about so and so from the past. I kind of wish they would stop, but at the same time, I understand there's a lot of people that used to watch videos when he was a part of it and that don't watch videos anymore, or haven't watched videos for a long time. They come back to the channel. Hey, well, last time I was here 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, he was here. What happened to him? I understand it. It does get old and it does get tiring, but I understand it. I'm not mad at the people for asking, that's for sure. I definitely get it. Something else. Yeah, will I play on Xbox again? Possibly. I don't know. I don't know about making a series on a console again, but I'm multiplayer. Quite possibly multiplayer. Yes, I could see doing some multiplayer again on console. Absolutely. Yeah, that could be a thing in the future on streams. I don't know. We'll see. Possibly. There's another. Oh, somebody's been watching since BlackRock. Dude, you're awesome. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. That's a long time ago in another world. I'm just saying. So yes, if anybody is wondering, I'm still kind of feeling the cold a little bit, not gonna lie. And of course, spending money times with John, that's the best times. I'm just saying, that's the best time, guys. Oh goodness. Yeah, you can probably hear me breathing a little bit more today because it's the lungs. The lungs are still coming back, so that's okay though. It's all good. The other thing I want to talk about in this video off the jump here, guys, is that you guys should go check after I get done with this video, which is coming out whenever, but I'm gonna go make the video about the John Deere cotton harvest, a DLC, I guess you call it, the cotton harvest. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called John Deere DLC, I think is what it's called, but it's got the one John Deere cotton harvester and then a bunch of accoutrements to go with the round bales, all that kind of fun stuff. Seems pretty cool. I've messed with it just a little bit right before this while I was waiting for this video to actually load into the editor. If you guys are wondering, it was about 10 hours worth of footage into this video, roughly 10 hours worth of footage, 9.5, 10 hours, something like that. A few minutes in between to set each thing up, so this worked out perfect to film this because I was sick. I was laying in bed that day basically, and I'd get out of bed and start the next thing up, and then I'd go crawl back in bed, and I can watch the screen from where I was at, so it worked out quite well, not gonna lie. Setting this to record and everything, but yeah, about 9.5, 10 hours worth of footage, which comes out to be about 128 gigabytes worth of footage to make this video. Plus actually, the way I record my audio so that everything sounds the same video to video to video is I will actually be recording. I'm recording another video track right now. I just record my audio in the Streamlabs, or not even Streamlabs. It's just OBS Studio. That's what I use for recording the video. And since I'm recording audio again, technically right now, that's more file size that has to go into this video. It's kind of clunky the way I do my audio. I should just use a program called Audacity, which is what I used to use, but I started having some problems with it, so I just went away from it. But this way, all the audio is the same from video to video. Stream, everything's the same. Well, the stream could be a little bit different, but it's not. Pretty well the same. So there's that. So that'll actually be another video track I insert into here. Oh boy. Oh boy. But you can see we got, I think that's our first load of bales. I wasn't really paying attention, I'm not gonna lie. The other thing, the other thing that's going on here, and actually I'm gonna click out of it on my end. You guys won't be able to see this, but on my end, trying to watch all 4 videos in high speed, like in the editing program, because that's usually how I do the voiceover, is I watch the video literally in the editing program as it's playing. Trying to watch all 4 of them at the same time, the computer's chugging, okay? Because you're trying to watch 4 HD videos through one program at the same time. Video's chugging hard. Okay. So I have isolated it, so all I'm looking at is 1 now, and I may change throughout the thing as we go here, just saying. But yeah, because I can't even 2. Okay, it looks like I can watch 2 of them. So right now for me, as I'm recording this voiceover, I'm watching mowing and hauling, so top left, bottom right. It looks like it's gonna handle 2 just fine. Let me try 3 just for funsies here. Okay, 3 is where it chokes, so I can watch 2. Which is pretty cool. So at least I can watch, you know, 2 of them. Although now it's chugging hard, so let's mute them up again. I know this has nothing to do with what you guys are seeing. Just what I'm seeing, just what I'm seeing. So there's that. But yeah, it's a little taxing on the old computer here. Processor's running at 100% right now. Video cards is running pretty good too, so it's chewing through the old footage here, trying to make this video, and I'm hoping that we get through the whole playback of this video without crashing. I will tell you guys, I may stop talking and put some music in eventually if I run out of things to say, but as far as right now, I'm out of things. No, I'm kidding. I'm already out of things to say. What are we, like 8 minutes in? Oh god. It's gonna be a long video, guys. No, I'm not. I mean, it depends. Depends who you ask if I'm out of things to say, talk about, right? I guess. But yeah, so like I was saying, this worked out kind of great the way I was sick and stuff. And you can see hauling bales, I was doing that manually, obviously. I got better towards the end with the hauling of the bales. I figured out a few tricks with this trailer. We're good to go. Just saying, worked out a whole lot better towards the end than it did in the beginning there, but that's okay. It's all good. It's all good. What was that red? Oh, that was the sign we just drove past. Never mind. I was like, what the Hannah Montana is that? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm actually, this is gonna sound weird, I don't have a standing desk yet. I really someday would love to have a standing desk. Something where I can hit a button, the whole thing goes ring and raises up. I can stand at it, do some work. You know, it's good for circulation to stand, good for your body, whatever. My microphone's on one of those like spring loaded arm things, you know. I've got it pointed up to the sky right now, and I am actually standing at my desk. Not a standing desk, but I'm standing at it, and I am doing this voiceover. I don't know if I'm going to make the whole voiceover standing. Probably not. Probably not, but it's just good to stand sometimes, I'm not going to lie. And since I don't have to touch the keyboard or mouse really to do this voiceover, I figured, hey, it would be kind of perfect to go ahead and get up and, you know, be vertical for a little while. Just saying. Just saying. The other night, guys, let's see. So I'm recording this. I'd always like to tell you guys when I'm recording. I'm recording this on Tuesday afternoon. It is 2:15 Tuesday afternoon, 23rd. Sorry, I had to lean so I could see my what's that thing called? The time and the date in the on the computer screen. Because when I'm standing, my viewing angles are terrible on pretty much all of my monitors. Just saying, they're meant to, you know, be sitting at the computer and see them. Anyway, so it was really hot here last week. Really hot here last week. And then, Sunday night, actually, it was late Sunday night, actually early Monday morning. It was, I don't know, I think it started around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I was sleeping. My phone went off at 4:23 or something with a flash flood warning. Scared the Jesus out of me. Just saying, I jumped out of bed like, you know how your phone, it does like the emergency alert thing? Well, it did that at, you know, 4:30 and 4:23 or something in the morning, and I about crapped my bed, I'm not gonna lie. Jumped and grabbed my phone. I was like, what the Hannah Montana? Pardon me, didn't mean to cuss, but you know what, the Hannah Montana, holy jumping buckets, bros. Just saying. Like, holy Toledo Batman. Okay, I'm trying not to cuss here, but oh, it was real. Okay. Come to find out, pretty much everybody else in my family had the same experience, except for my dad, because he's still on a dumb flip phone. How dare he, you know? Come on, even I've upgraded to a smartphone. Come on. Anyway, he doesn't want one. That's another story. But yeah, flash flood warning. There's a spot in St. Louis County called Creve Coeur, which, I mean, I don't live in St. Louis County. I don't live far away from St. Louis County, but anyway, this spot in St. Louis County called Creve Coeur, kind of where it's one of the areas in St. Louis where the rich folk live, you know, kind of. Anyway, that doesn't matter. That's why I don't live there, of course, you know. Never mind. Besides the point. They got 6.5 inches of rain on Sunday night into Monday. Really Monday morning, but you know what I mean. 6.5 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain. I'm just saying. I don't care where you are in the world. That's a lot of rain, all right? Especially for, you know, a couple hours. I think I got about 2.5, maybe 2 inches of rain. We haven't actually been to the farm yet. We're hoping to go to the farm tonight, just to basically drive down there and see how much rain we got, make sure the pumpkins are okay, make sure the buildings are okay after the storm. You never know. That kind of stuff. Don't really have anything else to do down there, but kind of just check things out and see how everything fared during the storm. There wasn't a lot of wind. I don't believe there was not a lot of lightning. It was just rain, and like a ton of it. My uncle lives like 2 hours south of me. I think he got like 4.5 inches of rain or something. Like, it was a lot of rain. It was so much rain, in fact, that the Missouri River, which is a good sized river, don't get me wrong, went up over a foot overnight that night, which is crazy to think about. A good sized river like that jumping a foot instantly. And even the Mississippi River, which there again, even bigger river, went up a couple 4 or 5 inches or something that night. There was lots of flash flooding around the area. Water rescues happened, all that stuff. Like, it was just crazy amount of rain. 6.5 inches of rain though over in St. Louis County, Creve Coeur to be exact. That's a lot of rain. I'm just saying, that's a ton. So I'm glad we didn't get that much. And the worst part was, here at my house, we have, you know, those black like pipes you put on your downspouts, you know, like out in your yard to get the water away from your yard a little bit. We have 4 downspouts on our house. We have them on all 4. 2 of them I take off when I cut the grass. I cut the grass Sunday, and I looked at my phone sometime on Sunday, and I was like, oh, it's not supposed to rain till at least Monday afternoon, Monday evening. I'll leave them off. I don't need to put them back on. Yeah, so I didn't put them back on before all that rain. And needless to say, I'm lucky my basement didn't flood because if we don't have those on, sometimes the water will, instead of going, say, to the side of the house and then down towards the street, it'll come around the backyard. And actually we catch a ton of water from my neighbor's house, a ton of water from his backyard. He's the guy that added 14 feet onto the back of his house. Got to think about it. That's a lot of roof, you know, 14 feet plus it was a 1-car garage. He turned it into a 4-car garage. There again, a lot of roof. Half of that new roof for the garage drains to the backyard as well. And then he concreted most of his backyard. So it's like all you're doing is making runoff, 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 runoff. And it all runs into my backyard. Now I do kind of feel bad because my backyard, you know, it runs right through it. Basically, it doesn't soak in. A lot of it runs over to my buddy Casey's house and will run right into his basement. Luckily, when he takes water in his basement, and same in my house here really too, it runs from a window to the wall. No, sorry, no. It runs from the window basically right to the floor drain. You know, we don't have things in the house here where it runs basically, just because we know occasionally, not very often. It happens maybe once every other year, if that, even probably less than that, to be honest. So it's not like, you know, we need to get a bulldozer in our backyard. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Get a bulldozer back there or something, not a bulldozer, front loader, whatever, and do some landscaping, put in some kind of drain box, maybe put in some drains, put our downspouts underground, maybe get the neighbor's downspout underground. That would be the best thing. And I don't know why he didn't do that when he put everything he did to that house. He did not put the downspouts underground. I don't understand that, why he wouldn't do that. I mean, he ripped the yard all to hell like 3 times before he was done with it, and just went completely nuts with over there, like completely nuts. So I don't know why he didn't put them underground. If it were me, I would have, at least to get them, you know, at least that back corner, to get it a little closer to the street. Just because it you know, you're dumping a lot of water on your neighbor, basically, is what he's doing. So there's that. It's all good, I guess, but this is kind of one of those things. It's not very neighborly, you know, but that's all good. It's no big deal. I think since he did everything, it's only happened once where it actually ran into the basement here. Pretty sure it was only once. I mean, there's no electronics or anything there that are going to get wet, and really there's nothing in the way. It runs in and finds its way to a floor drain pretty quick, so not a big deal. Put a fan there and let it go, kind of, basically. Not a huge deal, especially if it happens in the summertime. Air conditioner takes care of the humidity. No big deal, honestly. So there is that. But as far as the farm goes, the pumpkins are growing quite nicely. They're growing. Obviously they're a month behind, but they are growing. I will probably, if we go to the farm tonight, I'll try to get a picture and put it on Instagram. Yeah, try to do that. But yeah, they're growing. It's just they're taking their sweet time, you see. They are definitely taking their sweet time because they're a month behind. You know, we couldn't plant them. We could not have gotten them in the ground maybe a couple days sooner, but not even a week sooner. The week before we planted them, the garden was still like a bowl of pudding from the flood, you know. So the week before actually is when we did all the cleanup in the garden and there were corn stalks and there's all kinds of stuff in the garden where we needed to plant, and because the ground was so covered, it was, like I like to say, a bowl of pudding underneath where you can't even walk on it hardly without like losing a boot, you know. It was not fun. It was not fun at all. But, you know, we got the garden to dry out. We did put down our drip irrigation. We used it a couple times and we basically decided to turn it off now. Because we really, you know, you don't need to. Pumpkins like to be wet, but they don't like to be wet. If that makes any sense at all. They like to be wet. They don't like to have wet feet, I guess. And you know, there's plenty of moisture in the ground. We've been checking, and just need to kind of let them do their thing, get some roots, and let them go, let them do their thing. So that's exactly what we're doing. Plus, you having that rain the other day, I don't know how much we got at the farm, like I said, but we will hopefully check tonight. The grass down there, since the flood, we lost a lot of our good grass down there. We had pretty decent grass down there once upon a time. We have lost a ton of that, unfortunately, and we have a lot of water grass and a lot of crabgrass now, which not good things, but that's the way it is. We will be reseeding this fall, probably twice. I think we're going to reseed before Pumpkin Day and then after Pumpkin Day, because Pumpkin Day is pretty hard on the grass down there, especially if it's new tender grass. It's going to be pretty hard on it. Lots of people, lots of tractor driving, lots of wagon rides, all that good stuff. So it's kind of hard on the grass, not going to lie. But honestly, as far as I'm sure maybe some of you guys watched the On the Farm series, as far as that series goes, not right now. We're swamped at the farm right now. We are too busy to, I'm too busy to get a camera out. Even honestly, like I'm too busy half the time to get my phone out and even just take a picture. Like, and I know that sounds crazy, but it's just, we are swamped down there. Plus, when it's really, really ridiculously hot like it's been, I just don't even like want to be there. So there is that. There is that. I will tell you guys, we have winter projects planned. Some lawn and garden repair. Gonna be working on John Deere 111. We're gonna be pulling the motor out of that and redoing the governor. Maybe actually two of them. I'm not sure. So there is that. There is that. All right. So I need to take a good long cough break here, guys. Okay. So I'm not going to cut it out. You guys just watch the video for a second. I'm going to cough my head off and I'll be right back. All right. See, that wasn't that long. We're back. No big deal, right? Something like that. But yeah, we're going to be pulling the motor off at least one of the John Deere 111s. I think we have problems with the second one as well. So there's my John Deere 111, which is the one we did all the work to in the videos. There's Dad's John Deere 111, which we did not video because he was sneaking down there. You see, this is the problem with doing the videos at the farm sometimes, is Dad will sneak down there on Saturdays when I'm streaming and he'll work on stuff. And not, obviously he won't film it. He doesn't have any interest in filming. Like, he won't grab the camera. He won't touch the camera. So he'll go down there and do a bunch of work and then expect me to pull a camera out on Sunday and be like, oh, by the way, this was done and this was done. You know, it's kind of weird. But I am hoping to bring the On the Farm series back eventually. I really want to, or at least some kind of videos from the farm. I don't know if we'll call it On the Farm necessarily, but something. I want to bring something back from the farm. I enjoyed filming those, and you know, even if it is just like a project video of working on this or working on that or whatever, but something. I want to bring it back in some form. But he'll sneak down there on Saturdays and he'll do a bunch of work, and then Sundays he's like, oh, that's already done, that's already done, and that's already done. And I'm just like, well, cool, what am I filming then? Because I'd planned, you know, to film this whole thing, and not so much. And one of these days we're gonna make that can crusher. We keep talking about making a can crusher, where it's like two tires and they spin and you drop cans in there and it crushes them all to smithereens. We think that'd be fun for Pumpkin Day. Kind of have a little exhibit set up. And somewhere dad actually has a corn sheller. Yeah, a corn sheller. So you would take like ear corn, drop it in there, and it would shell it. I think that's what he has. I've never actually seen it. I've never seen it, not to my knowledge anyway. That would be really cool to set up for Pumpkin Day. Get a bunch of ear corn and kind of run little demos, almost like they do at farm shows and stuff, you know, like run the can crusher run the little corn sheller. Dad's got that old, not hit and miss, it's a continuous running, but it's ancient, that old motor with the flat belt pulley, you know, it's the Springfield Morris, I believe. I forget what year it's from. It's from like it's ancient, whatever it is. That would be really cool. And we got it running. It runs fairly well actually, but that would be really cool to power that stuff on Pumpkin Day and kind of show people at least a little bit of, you know, something old. It'd be kind of neat, you know, just saying, it would be kind of neat. So one of these days we're gonna make that can crusher. We got all the stuff down at the farm. The other problem is finding stuff back at the farm has been a nightmare, I think is the proper term. Finding stuff back, oh my god, it's brutal. It's brutal. Since we put, you know, most of the stuff up in the loft and hauled stuff out. I mean, my Christmas lights still aren't there. They're at my brother's house still, which is fine. He's not concerned about them. And honestly, I don't know if he knows this, but I'm kind of planning on leaving them there until I put them out in my front yard, like at, you know, Thanksgiving. Between Halloween and Thanksgiving is when I put my lights up. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Honestly, it's just kind of leaving the stuff there. He said he's cool with me doing it, and so we'll see how long he's cool with it. You know, he's cool with it, air quotes. We'll see how long he stays cool with it. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you're cool with it for now, but we'll see. He's pretty calm down these days, so you never know. Yeah. So yeah, hauling bales, boys. Hauling bales, mowing, baling, raking. See, I'm still dropping bales. I don't like that. I don't like dropping bales. And when you drop bales, you got to pick them back up, and it's just takes more time, but that's okay. That's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Like I said, towards the end of this, I actually got a lot better with this. I learned a trick. I learned a trick with the hauling towards the end of the hauling that worked out very well with this trailer. Just saying. It did. It worked out quite well. But yeah. So, but no, oh, what else is there? I really want to tandem up those John Deeres. I want to take my John Deere and I guess Dad's John Deere and tandem the tractors, you know, take the front ends off and put them in tandem like they used to do with tractors back in the day. I don't think Dad's gonna let me do it. I need to maybe find another John Deere 111 and buy it with like my money. He would die if I'm like, hey Dad, we need to go pick this up. I bought a John Deere. maybe just, you know, just be looking for one in the world and maybe another one will appear that we can take. So anyway, we have my John Deere, Dad's John Deere, and then what we call, I'm not going to say his name, but my one nephew. The joke is that tractor is for him when he's a little older. He's a year and a half old now. So obviously he's a little young. That's the one. It's actually a hydraulic drive 111, and it's got that's got governor problems. So we're gonna pull the motor out of that one, and I think we might pull the motor out of Dad's. And I think his governor's probably messed up too. If nothing else, he needs a carburetor, which they're super cheap. The one that's nephew's probably needs a carburetor as well. They're like $20 or something, $27 or nothing. So we'll probably put one on that tractor as well. Just they run better, you know. New carburetor is a new carburetor, and they just run better with a new carburetor, obviously. So I could see him, I could definitely see him doing that in the future. Obviously, very probably soon-ish in the, you know, this winter. Picking up a couple carb kit or carburetors and going at it, new air filters, all that good stuff. So that'd be fun. Pull the motors apart. We pulled the motor apart in my 111. I don't remember why. It didn't have any. It had an oil leak. That's what it was. We resealed the engine. It had an oil leak. We put that like gasket in a can, like not gas, like a silicone gasket, like a seal almost. I don't know what you call it. Like you know, it's like toothpaste. You know, you squirt that on there, you know, let it sit a little bit and then sandwich her together and you're good to go. We did that with mine a couple years ago, and I think it's leaking again, but I'm not totally sure. Actually, I should probably check the oil on that tractor. It's been a while. We don't really use it that much. So the other thing we want to do this winter is actually get a couple tractors, and I guess we're going to try to sell them. We're going to try to sell a couple of our smaller tractors. We're going to try to sell the newer Simplicity, and we're going to try to sell, or sorry, the newer Power King. We're going to try to sell the newer Power King, and I think we're going to try to sell the Simplicity as well, or at least get rid of it. I don't know if anybody would buy that tractor necessarily, but you know, we do have the deck for it. It will cut grass. The foot hydro is a little sticky at times, but I think we could straighten that out with like some fluid film or something. We just haven't monkeyed with it too much. But that tractor actually runs fantastic. That tractor runs very, very well. That older or the newer Power King doesn't run quite as hot, but it runs. And then actually our old Power King, I forgot about this one. Old Power King's coming apart this winter too. We need, well, there's a couple things we need to do, and then there's a couple things we're going to do. We need to actually probably, and we've never done this, it's original 1985, I believe. Somewhere in there, I believe, is when that tractor was manufactured. 1984, 5, 6, somewhere in there. That tractor was manufactured. The hydraulic belt is original. There's a belt underneath the hood that runs, you know, off the flywheel or whatever you want to, you know, up to the hydro pump. It's original to my knowledge. The only way to replace that is to split the tractor. Awesome design, you know, of course, that's the way that goes. But the only way to replace that, I believe, is to split the tractor. Dad and I have talked about it a couple times. You know, Dad sold the things. He worked on them. He knows kind of inside and out of those tractors. Plus, they're not that complicated. You can kind of figure them out as you go, honestly. We need to probably need to replace that belt. That, like I said, is original to my knowledge, and that tractor was manufactured sometime in the mid 80s. So, you know, it's pushing what, 34, 35 years old now. So, ooh, you know, it's, yeah, we probably should replace that belt. And of course the belt spins the whole time the engine's running. I have no idea how many hours are on that tractor. Not a clue at all how many hours are on that tractor. It does not have any kind of hour meter or anything. The other thing that needs to happen with that tractor is it needs rings bad. It needs rings. If you let the thing idle for honestly not that much time at all, and you throttle her up, it blows smoke. Not a ton, but more than we like to see. We know we're having, what is it, blow by or whatever. Not technically, you know, I'm not a technical mechanic here, but we know we're having issues. So we want to put some rings in there and check that all out. We've never been into that engine, honestly. The only thing we thought we had a blown head gasket one time on that thing, and I checked it all out. Dad let me do it. I was shocked. This is years ago. I was shocked he let me do it. He was out tilling the garden or something. He's like, yeah, just you know, go pull the head off that thing and you'll be fine. Take a look at it. It had the new gasket and everything. The head gasket was not blown out or anything. It was the head was loose. So it wasn't running right because the head was about to fall off. So when I was taking it apart, I'm like, wow, these bolts are finger tight. So needless to say, they got Loctited, I believe. I could be wrong. It's been years. They got torqued down pretty good and never had a problem since. Let me put it that way. And I say I was surprised Dad let me work on it, because even today, if there's a project, he's kind of the lead, you know. He wants to do it. He's all about it, you know, working on stuff and tearing into things and whatnot. So I just kind of back off a lot and just let him do his thing. And you know, I've learned a lot just by watching, you know. You definitely pick up on a lot just by watching what he's doing and what's going on and stuff. Now the 2-cycle stuff, I don't really like to mess with the 2-cycle stuff. Trimmers, blowers, I don't really care for that. All those parts are too small and kind of dainty, and I'm not about that life. So I prefer like working on an old I don't know, like the 5-horse Briggs. Those are fun to work on. Different stuff like that, but a little bit bigger 4-cycle, you know, that's kind of my thing. But yeah, it's just, we have fun, and I'm hoping we can tinker a lot this winter. Unfortunately, you know, we have a lot more free time nowadays since Mom's gone. That's kind of what stopped our winter maintenance even at the farm. We haven't done maintenance on stuff in two years. 2 winters. Yeah, we didn't do like any maintenance on stuff, because usually the way it would work is we'd get through Pumpkin Day, you know, is October, really, like a lot of time before that too, but we get through Pumpkin Day, then I'm doing Christmas lights basically right after, which, you know, we still go to the farm, we still would tinker a little bit, but back in the day we'd wait, we'd get through Thanksgiving, and then boom, it's like Christmas time. You know, back in the day we were making Christmas cookies. We used to make a lot of Christmas cookies. We'd pretty well always do that as a family. So, you know, Mom was kind of the lead of that, and then my brother we would help during the day, and then when Dad would come home at night, he would jump on and, you know, work on stuff as we you know, as schedules allowed and time and stuff. And a lot of nights we'd be baking cookies till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and that's just the way it worked for a long time there, a lot of years. And then we would get through, you know, Christmas and New Year's, and then we would really spend a lot of time at the farm, say January, February. Well, 2 years now, let's say, you know, Mom was sick with the flu first in January there. And in February, she had, you know, her necrotizing fasciitis. And I'm talking about what would that have been? 2018? No, 2017. She had that, yeah. Or was that 18? How long was she sick? She was sick for like 1.5 years. So it would have been 18, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, so early in 18 is when she got sick, yeah. So, you know, basically 18 and 19 we've not done anything. The blades on my lawnmower are still the same from 2017. The oil in my lawnmower's been changed, I think, once. I haven't put many hours on it, but the oil's been changed once. I changed the oil in the laser, I think, once. I think we sharpened the blades once since 2017, like late 17, because most of our blades and oil and stuff, if we have to do them based on hours during the year, yeah, I'll do it when it's hot, I don't care. But most of the time it's January, February, say March, we're doing our maintenance on stuff. We've not done maintenance on stuff since 2017. Yeah, because 18 and 19 we were, you know, taking care of Mom. So unfortunately, since she's passed, obviously I'd rather have her here still than to have more time at the farm. I'd rather have Mom back than have that time. But we should have time. We need to play catch up. I need to change so much oil on so many things, and usually I'll have like a day, one good day where it's not super cold outside, you know, it might be 40 degrees out, maybe pull everything outside that I'm going to work on and just change oil and change oil and change oil and change oil. I like to get it all done in 1, maybe 2 days, because there's so much stuff. I mean, when you start talking all those little tractors, and honestly, I mean, we don't put that much time on the tractors, but the oil does break down. We're not running synthetic and any of that stuff. Oil breaks down, it needs to be changed. Plus, you know, some of that stuff, some of the things like the old Power King, there's no filter on that. So to me, we need to change that oil a lot more often because there is no filter. That engine just does not have a filter. You dump the oil, you put new oil in, and you're away you go. That's just the way that thing is. You know, the newer stuff, yeah, all has filters. My lawnmower, the X-Mark, actually the newer Power King has a filter. The Simplicity has a filter. A lot of the newer stuff has filters. Of course, the older stuff just didn't have filters. So therefore, to me, need to change it more often. We over maintain usually, and I'm saying usually before, you know, 2018, we over maintain our equipment. You know, when I was cutting grass, I wouldn't say full time, but when I was cutting grass back in the day, quote unquote professionally, you know, getting paid by people to cut their yards, basically every year my trimmer got a new filter, got a new spark plug, a fuel filter. They never needed it, but it always got it, you know. That's just the way it is. Same thing with the blower. My lawnmower gets a new filter every year, or gets, well, there's 2 air filters in that. It gets air filters, obviously oil filter as every time you change the oil. Over maintain stuff, it prolongs the life. It's called preventative maintenance for a reason, you know. It makes sense to do, and that's the stuff we've not been able to do for a while. So it's kind of unfortunate, but we should be able to get back into it quite a bit this year. Quite a bit. So there is that. So hopefully we have a lot more time to kind of work on all the things that we need to catch back up on, you know, my trimmers, my blower. We've got so many, you know, things running things at the farm. Those shredders that we don't really run very often, we just need to run those. Like, they just haven't been run in a while, and especially everything with the flood, you know, we just haven't had time to monkey with stuff. So we're just we're getting back into it. And I think even the shop at the farm, I think the shop's gonna get changed as well. Maybe expanded a little bit. I'm not sure what Dad's plans are yet, but definitely changed in some way. We will definitely be changing the shop around at least a little bit this year. Honestly, with the flood, like, obviously our walls, they got wet, you know, because we didn't take them up. They got wet about a foot, maybe a little more than a foot, because they absorbed some of the water. They're not that bad looking. Honestly, I think we could try to clean them up a little bit, maybe with like a brush or something, and then just maybe like paint again, or just leave it, because it's not that bad in my opinion. I don't know what we're gonna do, but he said something about rebuilding the one wall and rebuilding a workbench in the shop. And then we have this idea, we want to put a chain hoist up in the shop too. So hopefully we'll get to accomplish the chain hoist, because, you know, lifting things like we have that generator, actually that's what spurred it, was our big generator that we got. Oh, whenever we got that thing, it was one of those deals where somebody wanted it worked on, and then they never came back to where Dad works and picked it up, paid for it, that kind of thing. And it sat there for like 2.5 years. And finally Dad's like, hey, that's mine. I'm just going to pay for the parts that we put in it 2.5 years ago. The company's just going to eat the labor. Not a big deal. Because, you know, this kind of stuff honestly happens all the time. People drop stuff off. You know, they get an estimate. Oh, it's going to be $300 to fix. And the guy's like, yep, sure, fix it. And then he never shows up to pick it back up because he doesn't want to pay the $300. But this is it's an 8,500 watt generator. You can't replace it for $300. It's got electric start. I mean, it needed a battery because it sat so long, but he had it in for a carburetor. So it has a brand new carburetor on it, runs like a top, and it's awesome. So we claimed it, took it to the farm, and did some work on it, but it's fantastic. Need to actually go run that thing and plug it back into. It's over at my buddy Casey's house next door. We had it in for an ice storm potential, and then the ice storm never happened, but the generator's still sitting over at his house. So I need to run that one of these days. It's been a little while. but it'll be okay. It'll be fine. New carburetor. It's fine. It's fine. No big deal. I need to plug it back in though, because that battery doesn't like to, I mean, they're small batteries. They don't like to hold their charge for too long. And then once they kind of lose them, they're junk. So there is that. They just won't hold a charge again. So I really need to get over there and plug that bad boy back in. I had it plugged in and then he stole his cord. He's like, I gotta plug in my bug zapper, bro. I'm like, all right, cool. I wish I knew where to get an extension cord. I mean, I don't have giant bins full of them in my garage and my Christmas lights or anything, I swear. Oh wait, yeah, I do. You know those oh, where do you see them? I'm trying to think of how to describe this. It's a plastic barrel, like with the rope handles. The ones we have are blue, but they're pretty good size. They're, you know, they're like you find them at like Walmart, I guess. Maybe to like throw your beach toys in and carry them to the beach kind of thing. Maybe. I don't know what you actually use them for. Redneck laundry basket, I guess. No, probably not. I don't know what they're actually purposely for, but they're just like big buckets, you know. Kids could put water in them and play in them. I don't know, like a barrel with the rope handles that come through the top, you know. I don't know what they're called. I have one of those that's so full of extension cords I can't lift it. I use a two-wheeler and then it sits on the ground. And then I have probably, I don't know how many gallon, like Rubbermaid, you know, whatever bin. That's just, oh god, it's so full too. I can lift that one, but I don't like to. And then I think there's one more. Yeah, there's another one too. And then there's I don't know how big that bin is either, but there's a lot of extension cords. Obviously it takes a lot of extension cords. The guys that, you know, do 15,000 Christmas lights. So it's a bit of a it's a lot. It's a lot. So there is that. And actually I'm going to be adding a bunch of lights. I have plans. I haven't purchased any yet, but I have plans to add a considerable amount of lights in the tree next to the driveway. So that should be pretty good to add a bunch of lights to that tree next to the driveway. It'll be good. It'll be a good time. Just saying, can't wait to do my lights this year. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching another Farms in Madison County video. I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this whole video, the crazy 4-way video thing. It's a lot to make this all happen, but I think it was worth it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Until the next one, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I already said, have a great rest of your day, and as always, toodles.